My favorite verses was cited, and that was Colossians chapter 2, verse 9. For in him all the fullness of deity dwells in bodily form. Hati enautoka toikai pantai pleroma tes theatetas somatikos. Beautiful, beautiful text. I believe it. But you see, I read it in its context. The context is an anti-Gnostic polemic. And you see, before you ever get to Colossians 2:9, you've already read Colossians 1. And Colossians 1 has already differentiated the Son from the Father. And it has already told us that the Son is divine, not a mere human being. It is said that we have been transferred into the kingdom of his Son, and then in describing the Son, it says, by the Son, all things are created, whether in heaven and earth, visible or invisible, principalities, powers, dominions, or authorities, all things created by him and for him, and in him, all things sunestekem, they hold together. That's the Son, folks. And that was said before Colossians 2:9. So you've got to allow that to happen. How can the Son be the one who created all things? Paul exhausts the Greek language. He exhausts the number of prepositions he could use to say that Jesus is the creator. And then when he says in Colossians 2:9, for in him all the fullness of deity dwells in bodily form, is that making him the Father? Is that making him the Spirit? No. What we believe is that each of the divine persons shares fully the one being that is God. God's being can't be cut into parts. God's being is not a pie that's been cut into 3 pieces. And since the Son truly is deity, the creator of all things, yet distinguished from the Father, but since the Son is truly deity, then we are not to be taken captive by empty philosophy, vain traditions. He is to be the standard of all things because in him all the fullness of deity dwells in bodily form. That would have been like scratching, this isn't a chalkboard, so it doesn't work anymore. But if that was a chalkboard, I went back there and I ran my fingernails down. Those the older people in the audience are going, the younger people are going, what? What's he doing? I don't understand. Colossians 2:9 would be like pulling your fingers down a chalkboard to a Gnostic, because he's just said the pleroma, the fullness of that which makes God God, deity, dwelt bodily, not just dwelt, but is dwelling bodily in Jesus. That's a present tense, and so I'd like to ask Mr. Perkins a question. If that makes Jesus the Father, and now Jesus is, now the deity is the Spirit, or however it is he understands that, this says that at the time Paul wrote this, all the fullness of deity is dwelling in Jesus bodily. Is that union still there, or has the Father become the Spirit and is now indwelling us? I don't know. I'll leave that to Mr. Perkins to respond to. Let's listen if we get full exegesis of those key texts.